day. But if her weight starts to come down, or if it looks like she doesn't have any fluid or anything, then I would just hold it on those days. But the thing about Lasix is it's almost like a light switch. If you find a dose that works, then giving less than that probably won't cause any effect at all. So, you know, we probably, and I think at her age, she probably needs the 80 milligram dose.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the opposite of what one of the nurses told me. They told me to take, like, just like you say, when she's not, doesn't need it, but they told me to start with the small doses, but we shouldn't even have a small doses if you got on 80, so start with the 80
Well,
immediately.
you can keep the pills and just give her a total of 80 of those, so you
Oh,
don't have
okay.
to waste that medicine.
But once you start back with the 80, so that's different from what they told me. That's why we've been doing that. They say ease back into it, but just give her the 80 once we start
I
back.
mean, when she takes a lower dose, does she pee? Does it make her pee?
No, you have to get in her, take a week. You have to get in her
So
system.
that means that the lower doses are not working.
No, they're not.
And that was why we had gone up to the 80 milligram dose, because that was the only dose that was really making her pee at this
Yeah.
point. So I don't think she's going to really react or respond to the lower doses. So I think if you give her the Lasix, make sure it's the 80 milligram dose.
Okay, 80 milligrams of Lasix.
Mhm.
So what else can we do to help her besides just pushing a Lasix in her to make her pee?
Well,
What with her diet? I'm trying to
cut
figure.
back on the fluid intake too. How much fluid is she drinking?
52 ounces. That's the next thing I was going to say. 52
That's a
ounces.
lot.
Oh, she shouldn't have 52 ounces of fluids a day?
Mm-mm.
How much?
Let's see, 52 ounces, that's probably like 7 glasses of water. I would cut back to maybe 5,
5 glasses. So how many ounces is that?
about 40.
40 ounces. So we take 12 ounces off.
Mhm.
And that's all of her fluids, like milk, juice, or whatever. 40 ounces a day. That's good to know. Okay.
Mhm. Typically, we recommend like 1.5 liters.
Mhm.
And I think, how much is that in ounces? That's about like 36. So it's about 48. Yeah. So about 1.5 liters is 48. I would say maybe slightly less than that for her, if she is still retaining fluid.
So less than 48?
Just for now, until the fluid comes down.
Okay, once the fluid is down, then we could go back to what?
I mean, I would just keep the fluid intake stable. Try to cut back a little bit, but keep the fluid intake stable, and then we'll adjust the diuretics as needed. And that means that you can keep the Lasix going until her fluid status is in balance,
Mhm.
and then hold the Lasix. Because the problem is, if you start adjusting the fluid intake and the amount of diuretics, it's going to be all over the place.
Okay.
So we need to find that balance, because what we're trying to accomplish right now is, it looks like she's got extra fluid on board, so we want the amount of fluid that she's taking in to be less than the amount of fluid that's coming out. So that's why I think you continue the diuretics to get that fluid coming off, and you decrease the amount that she's taking in.
So let me get that
But
right.
once you get to that balance where the fluid is off, then keep the fluid intake the same, but you can hold the Lasix every once in a while if you need to.
Okay, the fluid intake is 40 ounces. That's what you said. I need to know that.
There is no specific number. I would say just keep it stable, but if she's getting 52 ounces, that's probably a little bit more than she needs. So I would just cut it back, maybe cut out 1 glass of water or something.
We don't do it.
So-
That's why I keep asking you that. We don't do glasses. We do ounces.
So I don't do ounces, I do liters. And that's the
So
problem.
you're
In
thinking,
the hospital,
you're
it's
thinking
all
like,
measured by
so you're thinking like 40,
milliliters.
40 or 48. I'm trying to figure out what to give her because, you know, we pour them out of the bottle.
So
Let me see.
1.5 liters is probably going to be around like 48 ounces.
So
So I would say no more than 1.5 liters. So
Alright.
approximately 48. I don't know
48
if that's an
ounces.
exact
Okay.
conversion.
1.5
but
liter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing. What about sodium or anything? Do we
Continue the low sodium diet. So
continue low sodium diet?
yeah, less
Okay.
than 2 grams per day.
Less than 2 grams of soda, 2,000 grams? Or?
2,000 milligrams is 2 grams.
Okay, so less than that.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good to know too. Okay.
Yeah. And then basically, if you can keep her fluid intake stable, all we have to do at that point is just adjust the one variable, which is the diuretic. And then that way you're not trying to think, okay, we need to adjust your fluid intake today and do this tomorrow. It gets really complicated
It
trying to
does.
do all of that. So
It
if you
does.
can keep her fluid intake stable, We'll just adjust the Lasix if we need to.
When you say adjusted, what do you mean, go up or down? You can't go up, isn't that the highest
Hold
one?
it.
Oh, hold it.
Yes.
That's what you mean, okay.
So once her fluid status comes down and she's at her baseline weight, which I think was around like 125.
Yeah.
Once she's at her baseline weight, then if she does not look like she's got any swelling, if she doesn't look like she's having shortness of breath or anything, then you don't have to give her the Lasix on those days. But if the next day her weight goes up and it's 127, 128, give her the Lasix that
Okay.
day.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Okay,
And then the potassium she'll take on the days that she takes Lasix.
okay,
So if she's taking Lasix every day, then she'll need the potassium every day too.
okay, I got that.
All right. And then has she had any labs done lately?
She's had labs done about a month or two ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember what her potassium and everything looked like?
No, I don't remember.
Where was that done?
At Prisma in Sumter.
Sumter?
She's in Sumter, yeah.
Okay.
Probably at an emergency room visit or maybe, yeah, probably emergency room visit or
What'd she go to the emergency room for?
that's a little bit. But the strangest thing is, she's 133 pounds, almost 134 pounds now, and she's okay. But she was like 128, and she was just that fluid. So I think she might have gained some weight without the fluid here. That's what I'm thinking of.
Maybe, or
Yeah.
it could be that the scale was off.
I don't know, but that's why we had to take her to the emergency room because the fluid and she couldn't catch her breath. She was just
Gotcha.
disoriented. She didn't know what was going on, so we had to get some of that fluid up. And they just gave her 80 milligrams and sent her back home.
Okay.
Let her pee. But it should be in there from probably her doctor or the emergency room labs. He said that her sodium was low. But anyway, you can check it and
That's
see
what
if
I'm
you can
looking
find.
for right now. Her sodium was normal.
It's normal, so.
Or at least it was on the labs that I'm seeing here.
What day was that?
That was back in February.
I think she'd been,
But it was April that she went to the emergency department. I may not have those labs in the system.
I wonder if
but
they
let me
do
look at
labs.
her note.
She
They did
didn't- she-
labs.
in April?
Mhm.
She went to the emergency room in April? No, not in April.
April 7th?
Was it the doctor or the, that wasn't the emergency room, was it?
Yes.
I don't remember you going there. I can't. Not again. So that was just over a month ago.
Mhm.
That was shortness of breath, yeah.
So I don't have access to those labs that they did that day, but I can see where they did them. I just don't have those results. But anyway, we probably just need to, next time she comes in, we need to check her fluid status again. Not her fluid status, but her labs again and see what her potassium and kidney function look like. Let's see. Why don't we plan on seeing her back in about a month, just so we can kind of keep a close eye on everything.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
And we'll do a BMP and a MAG. And how's her blood pressure been doing? Any more low blood pressure readings? Or has it been
Yeah,
doing
we'll
okay?
have like a 97 over 50 or a 90 over 50. And we called the doctor in town, her doctor, and they told her to give us some grape juice. So what do you think is causing that drop like that?
It's probably her medications.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'll go low,
So-
but then we'll still give her meds and it'll be up in the afternoon. We check it. It'll go to like 116 over 69 or 116 over 74. But we've been having some scares, and when it's low like that, she don't be right. We know something be going on,
Mhm.
but it hadn't been lately. It'd be like
Okay.
97 over 50. I think we had a 97 over 50 the other day,
Okay.
but it wasn't too low. But if it gets like a 89 over 50, 51 or something, she's not right.
Right.
So we'll give her grape juice and try to get it up, and then give
Mhm.
her meds in, later on. But not too bad.
I
at the
mean,
low blood.
if that's happening, then I would hold some of her blood pressure medications if it gets too low.
Okay, so you're saying that when it's that low, don't give her blood pressure meds
Mhm.
that day?
Mhm.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right, let me listen to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can definitely tell that she's got some extra fluid just by looking at her neck veins here. All right, deep breaths in and out. Well, your lungs sound good. I think it's just a little bit of extra fluid. I don't think it's a ton there, but try making those adjustments with the fluid intake, and then the Lasix 80 milligrams, and just keep an eye on her weight.
Next question. That little rattle on her chest, that's just like
I don't hear
mucus?
anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her lungs sound clear.
Okay, so, Mom, you okay? She just had a drainage last week and now she got a cough.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably just a little postnasal drainage or something,
yeah.
but
Okay.
I don't hear anything that sounds concerning.
So you wanna see her in a month? Okay.
Yep, and we'll do some labs when you come back next month. Do y'all need refills on any prescriptions? We're
I
sending the
think
Lasix in with the 80 milligram
Yeah.
dose, just in case you need.
But that is the only dose you want us to give her?
Yes.
That I will remember. You hear that, Mom? Mom, are you listening? You listening to the doc? You listen to Dr. Holiday?
I think she's daydreaming.
She's taking Dr. Delphi's place. You remember Dr. Delphi? He used to give you the meds. He used to give you the sample, Xarelto. Remember Dr. Delphi? You used to ask for samples. You remember him? This is Dr. Holiday. She's taking Dr. Delphi's place, Dr. Holiday. I think this is the second time we've seen her.
Yeah, and we did a